Hi, I'm Tristina, and today I'm going to lead you through a pretty short but well-balanced practice. And this is a practice that you can do anywhere you have the space to unroll a mat. And one thing that may be helpful to have on hand today is a blanket of some sort. And the first use for this blanket today is to support your seat. You can choose how high of a lift you create with the blanket. Come to a cross-legged position. And for a moment, rest your hands down on your knees and close your eyes. Take this moment to become aware of your body and become aware of your breath. And throughout our practice, keep this awareness of body and breath. Through your nose, take a full inhale. And through your mouth, exhale. Bring your hands together at heart center. Take this moment to set an intention for your practice. It can be simple, something to come back to throughout the movement. Remember why you're here and why you're doing this. And release your hands. Flutter your eyes open. Take your right hand to the ground beside your right hip. Reach your left arm up and lean over to the right. And your right elbow can bend. And keep anchoring your left sitting bone down. Come back up through center. Switch sides. Take your left hand down and stretch your right arm up and over. Expand your breath into the side of the rib cage. And come back up. Now, taking your hands to your knees, we'll move through some seated cat-cow. With a breath in, lift your chest, draw your shoulder blades back. And breath out, round your shoulders, draw your waistline back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, round in. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Take a couple more on your own. Come back to a neutral spine. Change the cross of your legs. And reach your arms up. Feel length through your spine. Begin with an open arm twist to the right, taking your left arm forward and your right arm back. And with a breath in, lift your chest higher. And then exhale, left hand to right knee. And bring your right hand behind you. Rather than forcing your body to move deeper in the twist, see that the movement of the breath can gently facilitate that action. And come back through center and lift your arms up. And begin open arm twist to your left. So initially, without using the hands, we're just seeing where does the body rotate on its own. And one more breath in. And then exhale, right hand to left knee. And place your left hand behind you. Soften the tops of your shoulders. And come back through center. And transition onto the mat. You can set your blanket off to one side. Plant your hands shoulder width. And then walk your knees back. Tuck your toes under. And lift to downward facing dog. And spread through the hands. Engage down through your knuckles. And for a few breaths, just pedal out your heels. And alternate bending the knees. You find yourself in downward dog, in stillness. You firm the undersides of your arms. You stretch your thigh bones and your heels back. And begin to walk your hands back to your feet for a forward fold. Maintain hip width distance between your feet. Soft bend in the knees. And take hold of opposite elbow creases, hanging in ragdoll. And allow any tension through your neck muscles or jaw to just dissolve here. Let your head give way to gravity. And release your arms. Slide your hands to your shins and inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press through your feet, stand up and reach up with your breath in. Exhale, mountain pose, arms by your sides. Inhale, upward reach. Exhale, hinge from your hips, dive down to your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, walk your hands out to arrive in high plank pose. And to modify, you can always lower your knees to the mat. And create strength through your legs. And course it through the belly, through your waistline. Take a breath in. And then exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down to the mat. Point your toes, lift your chest, coming up for cobra. And this first time here, roll out your shoulders. And pressing more through the feet than the hands. And draw both shoulders back with the breath in, lift your chest higher. And exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And then open up your mouth. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and reach up. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, upward reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to plank and lower down, slow and steady. Breathe in for cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. One breath in. One breath out. Inhale, lift your hips, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, upward reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to plank. Lower half or all the way down. Cobra or upward dog. Engage your legs. And exhale back to downward facing dog. One breath in. And one breath out. Inhale, gaze forward. And exhale, step or hop to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, mountain pose. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Bend your knees. Inhale, lift your arms. Chair pose. And transfer more weight into your heels. And draw your hip creases back, followed by your rib cage back. Arms back. Stay connected to your breath so that it can support you. And keep your mind in a state of calm presence. Breathe in. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Keep your right heel lifted. Take your left arm to the ceiling for dragonfly twist. Hug in through your legs. And reach the right side of your chest up higher. Breathe in. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale to plank, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, re-extend your leg. Exhale, step your right foot through to your right thumb. Lift your right arm up, opening into dragonfly twist. As you spiral your chest up, roll your right shoulder onto your back body. And soften through your jawline. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower your hand and step to the top of your mat for the fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, raise your right arm. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, step through. Inhale, lift your left arm. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, release. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands to your heart. Twist to the right. You can rest your left elbow at either knee. And press your weight into your heels as you elevate your torso away from your knees. Back to chair for a breath in. And exhale, twist to your left. Back to chair for an inhale. And forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to plank, lower half or all the way down. Breathe into your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. One breath in. And one breath out. Inhale, raise your right leg. And exhale, step through for Crescent Lunge. Maintain the lift of your back heel as you reach your arms up. Stabilize through your feet and your legs. As you lift up through your waist, take hold of your left wrist. Reach up and then over to the right. Now within this stretch, you can always bend the back knee. That can help decompress the lower spine. Also add that little challenge of drawing your left thigh bone forward. And back to Crescent Lunge. Inhale. And hands to your heart, twist over to the right. Maintain the press of your palms. And begin to open your arms wide. Breathing for 3, for 2, for 1. And press through your feet back to Crescent Lunge for a full breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands, take a Vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step through for Crescent Lunge. And begin to rise up. And a few breaths here to stabilize your legs. And feel the expanse up through your chest and your arms. Reach for your right wrist and now draw up and over to the left, remembering that the back knee can bend. And you want to maintain the lift of your chest. Back to Crescent Lunge for a breath in. And bring your hands to your heart and twist to your left side. Stay here or open your arms wide. And draw your shoulder blades back towards your spine. Back to Crescent Lunge for a full breath in. Exhale for your Vinyasa or go straight to Downward Dog. As you arrive in Downward Dog, step your big toes together. Lift your right leg up behind you. Point your toes to the right and then bend your knee. Stack your right hip over your left hip. And keep steady pressure down through both hands. And a sense of lift through your left hip crease. Re-extend your right leg, square your hips. And step your foot between your hands for Warrior Two. Plant your back heel and come up with open arms. Send your right inner knee forward. Maintain pressure through the outer edge of your back foot. And come back to that intention that you set for practice. And keep it alive here. Flip your right palm, reach up for Reverse Warrior. You can slide your left hand down your thigh. And take your left arm around your low back for a half bind. And back to Warrior Two. You're going to reach forward and rest right elbow to right knee as you take your left arm up and over. And you'll follow the line of your back leg all the way up to your left fingertips. Push your hips the direction that you're facing. And begin to allow your shoulders, your head, to softly lean back. Root through your feet to come back up for Reverse Warrior. Take a breath in. And exhale, cartwheel your hands, taking a Vinyasa or go straight to Downward Dog. In Downward Dog, bring your feet together. Lift your left leg up, point the toes to the side, and bend your knee. Keep stocking your hips. And square your chest and shoulders towards the mat. Re-extend your left leg. And exhale to step through for Warrior Two. Soften through your toes. And relax the top of your shoulders. Flip your left palm, transitioning to Reverse Warrior. And the right arm can stay long or find a half bind. And come back to Warrior Two. You're going to reach forward and transition to extended side angle. Avoid collapsing into your left shoulder and left arm. And actively lift your chest. And slide your jawline back. Come back to reverse warrior with a breath in. And exhale your hands to the mat, taking a vinyasa or moving straight to downward dog. And walk your hands to your feet, coming to the back of your mat. Begin to roll your way up to standing mountain pose. Establish your feet firmly rooted down. Find a gaze out in front of you. And bending into your knees, lift your arms. And start by taking your left leg over your right leg. And left arm under your right arm for eagle pose. To modify the arms, you can always press forearms and palms together rather than wrapping. And sit back and down through your hips. At the same time, lift your elbows and chest. And even if the pose feels wobbly, even if you fall out of the pose, try to maintain your steady breath. Unwind and reach up for a breath in. And exhale back to mountain pose. And reestablish your feet. And bend your knees, lift your arms. Lift your right knee up. Wrap your right leg over your left leg. And take your right arm under your left or press forearms and palms. And remember that with yoga, we're just practicing everything. Release the expectation to perfect a pose or master the practice. And just keep meeting yourself right where you're at, here and now. And unwind your body, take a breath in or reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, walk your hands out for plank pose. With active legs, begin to lower for 3. Draw your shoulders back 2. And come all the way down to your mat. Point your toes and reach your arms back alongside you, turning your palms to face down. And activate your legs. You're going to lift your chest, float your hands for locust pose. You can continue to press through your feet, or for these last few breaths, lift your feet up off the mat. Draw your chest forward as you reach your toes back, breathing for 3, for 2, and 1. Release. Rest one ear on the mat. Allow your hips to gently shake side to side. And come back to center, turning your forehead down. Same basic setup, only this time you're going to bend your knees without reaching back to hold your feet. Keep the bend of your knees just like before. Lift your chest, float your arms. And then without holding your feet or ankles, you can spend these last few breaths trying to lift the knees. As your heels hug in, you feel your hamstrings at the back of your thighs engage. Try to send the back of your hands a little higher. One more breath in. And then release. Rest your opposite ear down. One more time, turn your forehead down. And the same setup as this last round. Reach your arms back, bend your knees, and begin to lift up. You might maintain this expression. You might reach and take hold of your feet or ankles. Use that bind to press your feet up and back, lifting into bow pose. Breathe here for 3, 2, for 1, and then release. Come to stack one hand on top of the other. Rest your forehead. With your feet still lifted, just begin to sway your legs slowly from one side to the other side. We'll do this a few times. And coming back through center, bring your hands under your shoulders, press your way up to tabletop pose. And bring your hands a little wider, so that your thumbs face forward, fingers are out. And walk your knees to touch. Start by shifting your hips towards the left as you turn and look over your right shoulder. And back through center, shift your hips to the right and look left. And come back to center. Widen your knees, sit back for child's pose. Rest your forehead. And take several deep breaths up and down the length of your spine. Walk your hands towards your knees to lift up. And swivel your legs around in front of you. Extend your left leg long. Bend your right knee, take it wide. Bring the sole of your foot to your inner thigh. If your right knee is lifted quite a bit, you can always take your blanket and wedge it underneath the outer thigh for support. Take a quarter turn to your left, so you're aiming towards your left leg. Reach your arms up. Then you're going to hinge forward with a long spine. Eventually lower your hands, soften your shoulders, and soften your head. You're going to lift yourself up and change sides. Extend your right leg forward. Bend your left knee to open wide. If you're using the blanket, bring it in for support. And turning towards your right leg, reach your arms up. Keep that long spine as you hinge forward, nice and slow. And at a certain point, lower your hands and begin to soften your upper body. And lift yourself up. Slide the blanket out of the way. And bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana. You can stay upright, holding your ankles, finding lift through your spine. Or for the next 10 breaths or so, you might begin to hinge forward. And walk your hands out. Relax your head down. As we're approaching the close of practice, just notice how you feel. And be content with whatever did or didn't happen on the mat today. And let that serve as a foundation that as you step out into life, you just greet each moment as it comes. Letting go of the need to have expectation. Finding space to let go of attachment or resistance to life. And just like we see the breath move in and out, it's constantly changing and shifting. So is life. May the practice of yoga create a space within us where we can feel more calm and at ease, where we can navigate that change, that ebb and flow with grace. And lift yourself up and transition to lying on your back. Hug your knees into your chest. And open your arms out wide. And send your knees over to the right for a spinal twist. If it's uncomfortable to be in this position, you're unable to relax your legs, you can always take your blanket and place it between your knees. And come back through center and take your knees over to the left side. And come back to center as we prepare for Shavasana, the final rest. You can always grab your blanket, create a nice little roll of the blanket. And this would come behind your knees just to provide some support. And this can feel really good if your low back is a little uncomfortable when you're laying flat on the ground. We'll transition down onto the mat. Depending on how much space you have, you can let your arms slide out a bit from the body. Soften your shoulders underneath your upper back. And close down your eyes. And take one more full breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. And give yourself permission to remain in this shape for just a couple more minutes. Taking this time and space for the efforts of your practice to dissolve. And create time and space for the benefit of your practice to integrate within you. Come back to an awareness of your breath. Letting your breath move in and out, deepening into your belly. And create some movement through your hands and your feet. And stretch your arms overhead. Get nice and long with the breath in. And sigh it out. Let your body fall limp. And bending your knees, hug them to your chest. And roll over to your right side. And press yourself up to a seat. You can sit onto the blanket again if that's helpful. And close your eyes, bring your hands together at heart center. And you've come full circle, right back to where you started. You acknowledge any shifts that this time in your practice have allowed to occur. And with gratitude for yourself that you made the time to do this practice, and with honor and respect to all the teachers that have come before us, that have kept this practice alive so that we can use it in this modern world today. We offer our gratitude. We bow. Namaste. Well, thank you so much for taking this time to practice today. I hope that you feel better and more in line with yourself after this time on your mat. If you have any comments or questions about the work we did today or things that you'd like to do in the future, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll keep an eye out for that feedback. I hope to see you soon for a future practice. Much love.